you said you have some chickens. Can you explain the story of the first time you got, baby chick, or how that came about?
All right, that should be fun. So I basically had to trick my dad into letting me get chickens.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, I started building a coop like maybe like 3 months. I would go to a tech school, and I have a shop class that I take there. And I was like, well, I want to build a chicken coop. So he was like, all right, cool. So we started working on the chicken coop there, and then like it was like 3 months that we took to finish it and everything. And I told my dad, I was like, we got to go pick up my project from school, and I need the trailer. So he came, picked it up, and he was like, what is this? And I was like, oh, that's my chicken coop. I'm gonna put chickens in the backyard.
Yeah.
So he was like, you're ridiculous. And I was like, I don't care, I know. So uh, after that, he had a friend that had a few chickens, and I ended up getting 3 laying hens from him. And then, yeah, my dad's still sick of the chickens, but oh well. He gets eggs out of it. I don't care.
Hey, that's the way to go. So you have
Yeah,
you had gotten them when they were already laying, when they were
yeah.
full
They were
maturity.
probably like a year and a half old, maybe. I don't even know.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. And what have you found to be, some positives about having chickens?
You get fresh manure that you
Hmm.
can put in the compost pile and then put on the garden. What else? They eat weeds. So when I let them out in our fenced-in backyard, not one of the flower beds has a weed in it, and all the plants that we have planted they don't like, so they're more picky. I don't know. They're fun, good pets. They lay a lot.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. Other
Well,
than that, I don't really know. They're just fun.
so are they a good conversation starter with you and the neighbors? Do you have neighbors?
My neighbors don't really care about them. I live in a really rural area,
Okay.
but the town, like my town council, hates me
Okay.
because of the chickens,
Yeah.
and that's a long story too. But I'll try and make it short. I think it's a good one. Um, so over the summer, I got a letter in the mail. It was actually on the water bill, actually, and they said that there's an ordinance in place saying no chickens. And before I had gotten chickens, I already checked everything and made sure, just because I didn't want to deal with that kind of stuff. And so there wasn't an ordinance, so I knew that. So then I filed a petition. I ran around the neighborhood for like 4 days straight, getting everybody to sign it. And then uh, I go to their first council meeting after I got the letter in the mail and I did the petition,
Hmm.
and they basically told me that my petition was worth nothing and it was just a waste of my time and everything, and I knew that was wrong. So I kept at it, and that was 6 months ago, and I've still been fighting it. And I think, let me think, in 2 weeks, I'll be able to go to the first public hearing they have on it, and they'll allow people or some of the houses to have up to 6 chickens. And I've worked so hard on this ordinance, and they're trying to make it just so I can't have chickens. I think, I swear, they hate me.
Did
It's
you
bad.
you ruffled their feathers, huh? Is that what
Oh
happened?
yeah, definitely.
Wow.
It's ridiculous, but they've tried to raise the setbacks and everything to like a ridiculous amount. That way, like no one in the town can have chickens. But I've been fighting that the last 2 months, and I think they're gonna make it so I have about like I don't know, maybe 10 square feet in the middle of my yard to keep chickens. But either way, I'll make it work. I hope.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's they're putting the setbacks further away from, is it the your property line or your house, or where are those coming from, or
Yeah,
both
they're trying to
sides?
make it. They're trying to make. They originally they had it at 25 foot off the property line, and then 25 feet away from any dwelling.
Okay.
So, and then my yard, it's not the biggest, but it's
Yeah.
one of the bigger yards,
Okay.
and it wouldn't work in my yard because it would literally like be butted up right up against my house. But
Hmm.
then they had the 25 feet from any household, so then it basically eliminated my whole property,
Yeah.
and it eliminated maybe like 90% of the town.
Hmm.
which is what they were going after until I caught that, and I said, "We're not going to do that. We got to change something."
Wow.
And so a couple of the people in the zoning and planning committee, they decided they'd actually work with me a little bit. Now they have it where it can be as close as you want it to your house and still 25 feet away from any neighbor's house, which is understandable,
Yeah.
but it only has to be a 10-foot setback off your back property line. But
Nice.
yeah. But either way, it'll be in the middle of my yard, and it's ridiculous.
Okay. So are you saying even if you do get what you want out of it, they'll be in the middle of your yard, or if they kind of get their way? Just to kind of
It's
understand
kind
that.
of both. Like, if I got everything I wanted, I wouldn't have to move my coop, and I wouldn't have to
Oh,
tear down the coop I have now and rebuild a new one.
yeah.
Um, and I'd have to get rid of my rooster, which is terrible. That's like the coolest little dude. I love
Yeah.
him. But yeah, if they got what they wanted, I wouldn't have chickens. So I guess I'm getting what I want.
There you go.
And the whole reason why I'm fighting for them so hard and I'm like sticking with it and I've spent 6 months doing all this
Yeah.
is because I'm not putting up with any town government taking my right to keep a few chickens and like live the sustainable life that we should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
I don't know. It's
awesome.
ridiculous.
I
Yeah.
love hearing things like that. I think oftentimes people just kind of go with the flow and don't put in any type of resistance, and it's not even really being so rebellious or anything. It's just it makes sense to have
Yeah.
chickens. It's
Yeah, it
there's
does.
nothing wrong there. It's good for the environment. It's good for community and people and
Yeah.
sustainability. It to me it seems a little bizarre that we have things in place for disaster preparedness and we're worried about food shortages, and
Yeah.
then you have
People
the
telling you you can't keep a few chickens.
yeah. So if we're wanting to work towards a sustainable future, I think it's really important that we have people like you just saying, hey, no, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
I'm going to have chickens, and then just doing it. And
Yeah.
uh, yeah, maybe being a rebel to some degree, but not causing any trouble.
Uh-uh. I
Have
know everybody in the town loves me. They're like, "Oh, that's so cool what you're doing," and I've got a few people asking me to run for mayor and everything. I don't know, it's crazy.
you should be the mayor.
I know. I'm gonna run in 2 years. I'll be 19. It'll be perfect.
That's awesome. That is so
Yeah.
cool.